This is the Shield. When the grand old game was lost, something new emerged from the ashes. 32 cities, steeped in Sunday fire, became a game reimagined, built for stability, played with purpose. We've gone beyond the pastime to a new mission. Every pitch a decision, every run a statement, every game a battle. 25 men, one mission. Pursue, capture, defend. The Shield. The game, the goal. The pursuit is underway. Week 2. The contest now enjoying. From Veterans Stadium, the Philadelphia Eagles host the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the starting lineups. Batting first, playing right field, Trevor Marvel. Batting second, playing center field, Pedro Gomez. Batting third, the catcher, Ivan Calderon. The cleanup hitter, the first baseman, Sean John. Batting fifth, playing second base, Sean Thill. Batting sixth, playing third base, Ruggero Fay. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Josh Bartlett. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Mike Jenkins. Batting ninth, the starting pitcher, Jordan Glenn. The starting lineup for the Philadelphia Eagles. Batting first, playing second base, Colin Drake. Batting second, the right fielder, Blake Hims. Batting third, the shortstop, Chris Baker. The cleanup hitter, playing center field, Kareem Taylor. Batting fifth, playing first base, Dusty Norman. Batting sixth, playing left field, David Herrera. Batting seventh, the catcher, Ben Weiner. Batting eighth, playing third base, Garcia Ramirez. Batting ninth, the pitcher, Casey Foster. "21,000 fans in attendance, clear skies, 61 degrees, wind blowing in from center at 10 miles per hour. The Philadelphia Eagles are in second place in their division, first place in the wild card with a record of 5-2. They are 3-1 at home. The Seattle Seahawks are third place in their division, fifth place in the wild card with a record of 3-4. They are 2-2 on the road. Let's play ball. We're here in Veterans Stadium. This is the first broadcast of the Shield. Baseball is back. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Veterans Stadium. Today, the Eagles meet the Seahawks. The third-place Seahawks sit at 3-4. Philadelphia comes in at 5-2, placing them second in the National Conference East. Head-to-head, Philadelphia has won 1 of 1 from Seattle. Should be sunshine all day. Game time temp is 61 degrees, pitcher-friendly conditions with the wind blowing in from center. Ladies and gentlemen, the first pitch is coming up. On the hill for Philadelphia is Casey Foster. Here's the pitch. That's it in the air. The center fielder ranges toward left field, and he'll make the catch for the first out. And we're underway. The Seahawks will send up Gomez, followed by Calderon, here in the top of the first inning. Here's the pitch from the left-hand pitcher, Foster, to the righty, Gomez. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's the second out. Need to make an adjustment here. See how this goes. The batter is Ivan Calderon. He's hitting .476. Five home runs, 9 runs batted in. Here's the pitch from Foster. And that pitch misses, and he'll take his base. 2 out. The batter is left-hand hitter Sean John, facing the lefty Casey Foster of the Eagles. Here's the pitch. That's it in the air. And it's the third baseman should make the play, and he drops the ball. That's an error on the third baseman. Calderon is at second base. Sean John is safe at first on the error. On the third baseman, Garcia Ramirez for the Eagles. The batter, right-hand hitter Sean Thiel, facing the lefty Foster. Here's the pitch. That's in there, a strike called, and that retires the side. 2 strikeouts for Casey Foster. That ends the Seattle first. 2 base runners, but the Seahawks do not score. Bottom of the first inning. The Eagles will send up Drake, Hems, and Baker. The defense for the Philadelphia Eagles, Mike Jenkins in left field, Pedro Gomez in center field, Trevor Marvel in right, Roguro Fay at third base, Josh Bartlett at short, Sean Thiel at second base, and Sean John at first base. The battery, Calderon behind the plate, and Jordan Glenn on the mound, right-hand pitcher. He'll face Colin Drake, the leadoff hitter for the Eagles. No score, bottom of the first inning, here at Veterans Stadium. Jordan has a record of no wins and a loss, 21 ERA, 1 game started with no college starts. Colin Drake, the leadoff hitter, is hitting 185. That pitch misses, and he'll take first base. The leadoff man is put aboard. Nobody out. Left-hand hitter Blake Helms steps to the plate. He's hitting 222. The left-hand hitter first faces the right-hand pitcher, Glenn. The pitch, and the runner's going. The throw to second. He's safe. Colin Drake steals second base for the Eagles. We're at Veterans Stadium, home of the Philadelphia Eagles, here in the Shield. The batter is left-hand hitter Blake Helms. Right-hand pitcher Glenn. Here's the pitch. That's a ground ball to the second baseman. He picks it up, throws the first in time. Colin Drake advances to third base. One out. Right-hand hitter Chris Baker will step to the plate. The shortstop is hitting 320. Righty versus righty. Here's the pitch. That's hit in the air to right field. He comes in on it, and he'll make the catch. He throws it in quickly, but the runner will score. And the Eagles are on the board. It's 1-0. The Battle of the Birds here today. Eagles hosting the Seahawks in the National Conference game in the Shield. The cleanup hitter, Kareem Taylor, will step to the plate. He's the center fielder, hitting 214, 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. Righty versus lefty. Here's the pitch. That's it on the ground right in front of the plate. The catcher will pick it up, fire the first in time for the out, and that retires the side. Nobody left on, but the Eagles score a run. It's now 1-0, Philadelphia in front. Top of the second inning. For the Seahawks, it'll be Fye, Bartlett, and Jenkins due up. Left-hand pitcher Casey has 1 walk and 2 strikeouts in 1 inning of work. He's allowed 2 hits and an earned run. Leading off for the Seattle Seahawks, left-hand hitter Ruggiero Faye. Lefty versus lefty. Here's the pitch.
Strike 3.
Strike 3 called. The 2-2 pitch is in there. 1 away. Top of the second inning. The Seahawks trail by a run. The right-hand hitter, Josh Bartlett, will step in. He's the number 7 hitter. The shortstop's hitting 250, 1 for 4, with a home run, 3 runs batted in. Lefty versus righty, the pitch. That's hit sharply to third. He picks it up, throws to first in time, and that's 2 out. Mike Jenkins, the left fielder, will step to the plate. He's the number 8 hitter. He's 0 for 3 on the young season. Right-hand hitter facing the lefty, Foster. The pitch.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that retires the side. End of the Seattle half of the second inning. The Seahawks go down in order. Eagles still out in front, 1-0. Bottom of the second. For the Eagles, it'll be Norman, Herrera, and Weiner due up. Righty pitcher Jordan Glenn for the Seahawks in 1 inning of work has walked 1 and struck out no one. Here's Dusty Norman stepping to the plate. He's the first baseman. The righty, Glenn, delivers. That's low, ball 4, and he'll take his base. So the pitcher, Glenn, walks the leadoff man, Norman. He's at first. And the batter is right-hand hitter David Herrera. He's the left fielder, the number 6 hitter. 4 for 15 thus far, hitting .267. Nobody out, man on first. Here's the pitch. He gets that in the air, right center field, and that is caught. No, it's a base hit. Let's see. It's a base hit. Dusty Norman, the second base. And the batter is Ben Weiner. Righty versus lefty. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Good pitch. Changeup, 78 miles an hour. That's the first out. 2 on, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. Eagles lead by a run. The batter, right-hand hitter Garcia Ramirez. He's the number 8 hitter. He plays third. He's 1 for 5 on the season. Right-hand pitcher Glenn now ready. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's 2 out. 2 out, 2 men on. Right-hand pitcher Glenn. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in 1 2/3 innings pitched. The left-hand hitter Casey Foster, the pitcher, steps in. He's 0 for 2 on the young season. 2 out, 2 men on. Eagles lead by a run. Here's the pitch. Gets it on the ground to second. Picks it up, throws the first in time, and that retires the side. Eagles get nothing and lead 2. Philadelphia is still up 1-0. Top of the third inning for the Seahawks. It'll be the pitcher, Glenn, leading off, followed by the leadoff hitter, Marvel, and then Gomez. Lefty Foster, in 2 innings of work, has struck out 4, walked 1. Here's the left-hand hitter, Jordan Glenn. The pitch. Gets that on the ground to the second baseman. He ranges, makes the scoop, and makes the throw in time for 1 away. Colin Drake makes the play for the Eagles. Here's the left-hand hitter Trevor Marvel for Seattle. He's a left-hand hitter facing the lefty Foster. The pitch, 1 away. And he's hit by the pitch. He'll take his base. The 1-1 curve hit him. So with 1 out, man is at first. The right-hand hitter Pedro Gomez will step in. The number 2 hitter is 0 for 1 today. He's 0 for 2 on the season. Here's the pitch from lefty Foster. And that's a called strike. The runner is going. The play at second, he's safe. Trevor Marvel steals second base. So a runner in scoring position, the right-hand hitter Pedro Gomez has an 0-1 count on him with 1 out. Here's the pitch, the 2-2. That's in the air sharply to right field, but he's there to make the catch. The batter is Ivan Calderon. He's hitting .476 on the year, 10 for 21. 2 out. Marvel at second. Seahawks trail by a run. Here's the pitch from Foster.
Strike 3.
And he checks his swing, but it's a called strike. Inning over. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. The Eagles remain in front 1-0. Okay, bottom of the third inning. 1-0 Eagles. They send up the top of the order Drake, Hims, and Baker. Right-hand pitcher Glenn facing the righty Drake. Here's the pitch. First time up, he walked him. That's it on the ground at third. He'll scoop it up and make the play to first base for the out. One away. Here's Blake Helms, left-hand hitter. Righty Glenn. Bottom of the third. He hits that in the air, and it's a line drive caught by the second baseman for the second out. Here's Chris Baker. He's the number 3 hitter. The shortstop's hitting .320, 8 for 25 thus far, a homer and 2 runs batted in. Righty versus righty. Here's the pitch. That's in the air on the infield. Up the elevator shaft, the first baseman will come in toward the plate and make the catch. Side retired. Eagles are set down in order. They remain in front 1-0. Top of the fourth. For the Seahawks, it'll be John, Thiel, and Fay. Lefty Casey Foster for the Eagles has 5 strikeouts. Here's Sean John. He's hitting .308, 0 for 1 today. The pitch. That's on sharply to third and is by him into left for a base hit. The left fielder picks it up and gets it back into the infield. And he'll jog into second with a double. So a leadoff double for Sean John of the Seahawks. And the batter is Sean Thiel. Right-hand hitter facing the lefty Foster. Here's the pitch. Top of the fourth. Seattle trailing by a run. Ground ball to the shortstop. And he'll bobble it. And it's an error on the shortstop. Second error for the Eagles. Chris Baker at short commits the error. So John is at second base. Thiel is at first, the batter. Left-hand hitter Ruggiero Fay. Lefty versus lefty. Here's the pitch from Foster. That's in the air, a blooper. Second baseman will make the catch. First out of the inning. Runners do not advance. Right-hand hitter Josh Bartlett will step in. He's the number 7 hitter. He's 0 for 1, 1 for 5 on the year. Here's the pitch. That's in the air to left field, and it'll get down for a base hit. He hits the full count pitch to left. And John will score. John will go to third. Thiel will go to second. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Here's the right-hand hitter, Mike Jenkins, stepping in. He's the number 8 hitter. The left fielder is 0 for 4 on the season, 0 for 1 today. Lefty Foster in the jam. Here's the pitch to the righty. And that's a strike 3 called. That's the second out. Here's Jordan Glenn. He's the pitcher. Left-hand hitter facing the lefty Foster. Bases loaded, 2 out. Seahawks trail by a run. Here's the pitch from Foster. That's hit sharply into left field. Now it'll go all the way to the corner. That'll score at least 2. Maybe clear the bases. The throw is in the second. And 2-run score on the double by Glenn, and it's now 2-1 Seahawks. So the pitcher, Glenn, helps himself by hitting a 2 RBI double. Bartlett is at third, and the score is 2-1. Here's the batter, left-hand hitter Trevor Marvel. He's the leadoff man, 0 for 1, 6 for 32 on the season. Here's the pitch. That's in the air, hit sharply. It's carrying, and I believe that'll leave the yard. That's a 3-run home run. And that will make Seattle lead 5-0. The Seahawks have blown this one open. Here's the right-hand hitter, Pedro Gomez. The number 2 hitter is 0 for 2, 0 for 3 on the season. The pitch from Foster. That's hit on the ground to third. He picks it up, slings it to first, and he gets him. That retires the side. Seahawks get 5, and they now lead the Eagles 5-1. Bottom of the 4th inning. For the Eagles, it'll be Taylor, Norman, and Herrera due up. Here's Kareem Taylor facing the righty Glenn. In 3 innings of work, he's walked 2, struck out 2. He's got a lead now. Here's the pitch. Full count. That's hit sharply to first base, and that's going to go all the way to the right field corner. He's hit it for second base, and he'll get there with a double. Lead-off 2-base hit for Kareem Taylor, and the Eagles have a man in scoring position for the right-hand hitter, Dusty Norman. He's the number 5 hitter. He has nothing to report. Here's the pitch, righty versus righty. Nobody out, full count. That's low, ball 4. 2 men on with nobody out. And the batter is David Herrera, the right-hand hitter. Faces the righty Glenn. Here's the pitch.
Strike 3.
That's in there, a strike called. And that's the first out of the inning. The batter, left-hand hitter, Ben Weiner. He's the catcher. He's 0 for 1. Hitting 286 on the year. Here's the pitch. That's hit on the ground to the second baseman. He'll go to second for 1. And the relay, 4-6-3, double play. Inning over. No runs, a hit, no errors. A runner left on. Seattle up 5-1. Top of the 5th. For Seattle, it'll be Calderon, John, and Phil due up. Left-hand pitcher Casey Foster, 6 strikeouts in 4 innings of work. The Seahawks lead 5-1, and they're batting here in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch to Calderon. That's in the air, hit deep. It's carrying, and it will leave the yard. That's a solo home run for Ivan Calderon, and it extends the Seahawks lead to 6-1. Let's look at our first tail of the tape in the Shield. 368 feet, 96 miles an hour off the bat, 37-degree launch angle, a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Casey Foster. And Ivan Calderon puts it in the cheap seats. 6-1 lead for the Seattle Seahawks. Baseball is back here at Veterans Stadium after a 2-year hiatus. The Shield has brought the game back. Here for the Seahawks is Sean John, the left-hand hitter. He's the cleanup hitter. The first baseman is 1 for 2 today. He's hit 2 homers, 3 runs batted in. Here's the pitch from Foster. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the first out. Fastball at 92. Here's right-hand hitter Sean Thill. The righty versus the lefty Foster, who struck out 7 today for the Eagles. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing, but it's a called strike. That's the 8th strikeout for Casey Foster in this game. He's mowing them down. Here's the lefty, Rogero Fay. Some kind of injury here. Minimal knee contusion. Okay. 2 out, top of the 5th. Seattle leads by 5, and they're batting. Lefty versus lefty. The delivery. That's in the air. And the first baseman scarcely has to move and will catch the pop-up to retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on. Seattle now leading 6-1. Bottom of the 5th. For the Eagles, it'll be Ramirez, pitcher Foster, and the leadoff man Drake due up. Eagles trail by 5. Here's the right-hand hitter, Garcia Ramirez. He's the number 8 hitter. He's 1 for 6 on the season. Here's the pitch. He hits it on the ground to second. He'll scoop it up, throw to first in time, routine, 1 away. Here's Ryan Crossdale, the pinch hitter, batting for the pitcher. Righty versus righty. Here's the delivery from Glenn.
Strike 3.
Strike 3 called. Never took the bat off his shoulder. Glenn is now struck out 4 in this game. 2 out. Here's the right-hand hitter, Colin Drake. He's the leadoff man. He's 0 for 1 today. The 2-out pitch. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that retires the side. No runs, hits, or errors. No one left on. Seattle out in front 6-1. Top of the 6th inning. For the Seahawks, it'll be Bartlett, Jenkins, and Glenn due up. Here at Veterans Stadium. Seattle leading the Eagles 6-1. New pitcher for the Eagles, it'll be Charles Calvert. He's thrown 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 base on balls, and he's struck out 1. Josh Bartlett will step in, the number 7 hitter. The shortstop is 1 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. That's on the ground. Shortstop will handle it. He'll make the throw in time for the first out. Chris Baker, shortstop for the Philadelphia Eagles, makes the play. He's got an error in this game. Here's Mike Jenkins, the right-hand hitter for the Seahawks. He's the number 8 hitter. He's 0 for this season. 0 for 2 today. Uh-oh. I advanced. Didn't mean to. Okay, we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Seattle did not score. I hit the wrong button. So it is now the Eagles at bat. It'll be Hims, Baker, and Taylor due up. Here's Blake Hims. Lefty versus the right-hand pitcher, Glenn. The 2-1. That's on the ground to first. He'll take it himself. Easy out, 1 away. Here's Chris Baker. Righty versus righty. Baker is 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. That's in the air. That's to right field. It'll get down for a base hit. He catches it near the foul line. And that's a 1-out base knock for Chris Baker. Here's the left-hand hitter, Kareem Taylor, the cleanup man. The center fielder is 1 for 2. The Eagles trail by 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch from the righty, Glenn. He gets that in the air, center field. The center fielder is there to make the catch, and that's the 2nd out. The batter is Dusty Norman. Chris Baker at first base, 2 out. Eagles trail by 5. Here's the pitch from Jordan Glenn. That's on the ground to short, deep short. He'll make the catch and throw to second for the force play, and the inning is over. The Eagles get nothing and leave 1. Seahawks still in front, 6-1. Top of the 7th. For Seattle, it'll be the top of the order. Marvel, Gomez, and Calderon. Seattle leads 6-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. We're in Veterans Stadium, home of the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the pitch. That's in the air, center field. He runs in toward the infield, and he'll make the catch for the 1st out. Here's the left-hand hitter, Julio Guardado. He's the pinch hitter. Julio Guardado, left-hand hitter, versus the righty, Calvert. The pitch. That's hit sharply to right field, and he'll make the catch, though. Hit hard, but right at him. 2 out. Here's Calderon. He's 1 for 2 with a home run. Righty versus righty. The pitch. That misses. Ball 4. Walked him on 4 pitches. 2 out. Here's left-hand hitter Sean John, the cleanup hitter. 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. That misses. Runner going, and he'll be out. Ivan Calderon caught stealing second base, 2-6. Side retired. No runs, no hits, 1 walk. Nobody left on. Seattle still ahead, 6-1. Bottom of the 7th, Seattle leading Philadelphia 6-1 in the Shield. We're in the 2nd week of play in the new league. Baseball is back. For the Eagles, it'll be Herrera, Weiner, and Ramirez due up. Righty Glenn, in 6 innings of work, has walked 3 and struck out 5. He's got the lead. Here's the pitch to Herrera. That misses. Ball 4, and he walked him on 4 pitches. The leadoff man is aboard, and the left-hand hitter, Ben Weiner, steps in. He's the number 7 hitter. 0 for 2 today. 6 hits and 22 at-bats. The pitch, bottom of the 7th inning. That's on the ground. The second baseman will make the play to second base for 1. The relay in time, 4-6-3. Double play. 2 out now. Here's the right-hand hitter, Garcia Ramirez. The number 8 hitter is 0 for 2. The pitch. He hits that on the ground to second base. He picks it up, throws the first in time. 2nd out. No, that retires the side. Seahawks face the minimum despite allowing a base runner. They're still leading 6-1. Top of the 8th inning. For Seattle, it'll be John, Thill, and Fay. Charles Calvert in his third inning of work. He's thrown 2 innings. He's walked 1, struck out none. Here's John, the left-hand hitter, the cleanup hitter for the Seahawks. 1 for 3 today. He is set on the ground to the second baseman. That ball was hit very hard. He makes the play for the first out. Fine play by Eagles second baseman Colin Drake. Here's the right-hand hitter, Sean Thiel. He's 0 for 3. Righty versus righty. Here's the pitch.
Strike 3.
And it's in there, a strike call. The 2-2 pitch is in there. Fastball at 88 miles an hour. 2 away. Here's left-hand hitter, Ruggero Fay. Calvert, the righty, versus the lefty Fay. The 2-out pitch. That's it in the air, and that'll be a base hit over the third baseman into left field. 2-out base knock for Fay. And the batter is Josh Bartlett, the right-hand hitter. He's the number 7 hitter. 1 for 3. And a new pitcher for the Eagles. It'll be Luis Delgado. 2 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, no earned runs. He's walked 1, struck out 6, ERA 0. Josh Bartlett steps in, righty versus righty. Here's the pitch. That's hit on the ground to first. He'll throw to the pitcher covering for the out at first, and that retires the side. Nothing on 1 base hit for Seattle. They still lead 6-1. Bottom of the 8th inning for the Eagles. The pinch hitter will lead off for the pitcher, Ricardo Rodriguez, followed by the leadoff man Drake and Helms. Bottom of the 8th inning, right-hand pitcher Jordan Glenn has gone the distance so far. He's walked 4 and struck out 5. Here's Rodriguez in a pinch hitting role. The pitch. That's hit sharply to second. He'll scoop it, throw to first in time. That's your first out. Here's Colin Drake, the right-hand hitter. The leadoff man is 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. That's in the air. Over the shortstop, on into center field for a base hit. The 1-out base knock puts a man on first. And they'll go to the bullpen for the Seahawks. It'll be Manny Ortiz that will take the mound. He's 2 2/3 innings pitched, a hit allowed, a earned run, walked 2, struck out 2. His earned run average is 3.38. For the Eagles, Drake at first base, the batter, left-hand hitting Blake Helms. They trail by 5 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We're here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, home of the Philadelphia Eagles of the Shield. That's up the middle, base hit. That's hit sharply up the middle. So a 1-out hit for Blake Helms, and Colin Drake advances to second base. Eagles are in business. The right-hand hitter Baker will step in. The number 3 hitter is 1 for 2 today with a run batted in. Here's the pitch from Ortiz. That one gets away. Wild pitch. And Colin Drake goes to third base, and Blake Helms goes to second base. So the runners move up 90 feet, and with 1 out, first base now open, and the batter is Baker. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's in the air, over the third baseman, into left field for a base hit. That'll score a run, maybe two. Drake is in. Helms will stop at third. So Chris Baker delivers the run-scoring single, and the score is now 6-2. The Eagles draw closer. Runners on the corners, one out. The batter, left-hand hitter Kareem Taylor. He's the cleanup hitter. 1 for 3 today. Facing the right-hand pitcher, Manny Ortiz. Here's the pitch. He hits that on the ground to second. He'll make the play to second base for the force. Fielder's choice, 4-6. Blake Helms will score, and now that's the third run for the Eagles. They trail by 3 runs, 6-3. Bottom of the 8th, 2 out. The batter, Dusty Norman. Right-hand hitter, he's the number 5 hitter. He's 0 for 1 today. Kareem Taylor at first. Here's the 2-out pitch. That's hit sharply into left field for a base hit. No doubt about that one. Taylor to second base. So with 2 outs, there's 2 men aboard. And the batter is David Herrera. He's the number 6 hitter. 1 for 2, hitting .294 on the year. Right-hand pitcher Ortiz on the mound. Now ready. Has hit to third. He'll step on third for the force play, unassisted, to retire the side. 2-run score for Philadelphia. The Eagles pull closer. The score is now 6-3 Seahawks. Top of the 9th inning. Seahawks looking to add to their lead. The new pitcher for the Eagles is Joe Serrato. He's 0-1 with 3 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 2 earned runs. He's walked 1, struck out 3. His ERA is 5.40. For the Seahawks, it'll be the 8th hitter, Brown, Alex Brown, pinch hitting, followed by the pitcher Ortiz and the leadoff man Marvel. Seahawks lead by 3 here in the top of the 9th. Right-hand pitcher versus the left-hand hitter. The delivery. Pass it on the ground the first. He'll take it himself for the first out. Here's right-hand hitter Steve Pearce. He's the pinch hitter for the pitcher. Steve Pearce will bat. He's 0 for 1 on the season. Here's the pitch. Pearce hits it back up the middle. It'll get by the shortstop for a base hit. 1-out base hit for Pearce in a substitutionary role. The batter is Trevor Marvel, the leadoff man. He's 1 for 3 today with a homer and 3 runs batted in. John Serrato for the Eagles, now ready. And that misses, ball 4. Fastball at 97, misses. And he'll take his base. 2 men on, 1 out. Here's the right-hand hitter, Bob Richards, I'm sorry. What am I doing? Bob Richards. Righty versus righty. Here's the pitch. 1 out. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's 2 out. Here's Calderon. The catcher is 1 for 2 with a homer and a run batted in. 2 out. Top of the 9th. Seattle leads by 3. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that retires the side. 2 base runners in the inning, but Seattle fails to score. Score is unchanged, 6-3 Seahawks. Bottom of the 9th inning, 3 to tie, 4 to win. New pitcher for Seattle. It'll be David Moreno. David Moreno. The Eagles will send up Wiener, Ramirez, and Serrato, the pitcher. Here's Ben Wiener. Here's the pitch. Three saves for Moreno to date. Werner hits it in the air, and that one hits the wall. That's extra bases. He's in second with a double. So the leadoff man hits a double for the Eagles, and the tying run is on deck. Here's the right-hand hitter, Garcia Ramirez, the number 8 hitter. The third baseman is 0 for 3 today. He's 1 for 8 on the year. Here's the pitch. What are you going to miss? Strike 3, a ball in his eyes. That's one out. Here's Nick Benedict, the pinch hitter. Here's the pitch, righty versus righty. He is set in the air on the infield. The second baseman comes in toward the grass. He'll make the catch. 2 out. Here's Colin Drake, right-hand batter, the leadoff man. He's 1 for 3. Weiner at second base. The tying run is on deck. Here's the pitch. He hits that sharply to right field. That's carrying, and that's fly ball out to right. And this game is in the books. Philadelphia bested by Seattle 6-3. So a home loss for the Eagles and a road win for the Seahawks. Let's take a look at the totals. Let's take a look at the totals for today's game. First, for the victorious Seattle Seahawks, who even their record at 4-4. They had 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The Seattle Seahawks left 6 men on base. The winning pitcher is Jordan Glenn. The win gives him a record of 1-1, 7 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 2 runs, both earned, walked 4, struck out 5, no homers, 109 pitches thrown, an ERA of 7.84. The save goes to David Moreno. That's his 4th. For the Philadelphia Eagles, 3 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. They left 6 men on base. The loser was Foster. He's now 0-2. 5 innings of work, 5 hits allowed, 6 runs, 1 earned. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, 2 homers, 109 pitches thrown, an ERA of 1.74. Seattle attack 6-3 loss on Philadelphia. Seattle and Philadelphia duked it out, and the Seahawks came out victorious. The Seattle Seahawks knocked off the Philadelphia Eagles 6-3 in National Conference action at Veterans Stadium. Seattle pitcher Lancaster, New York, Lancaster native Jordan Glenn had an outstanding performance. David Moreno got the save. With the save for Seattle, his 4th of the season. Seattle trailing 1-0 in the top of the 4th. Glenn hit a curveball from Casey Foster for a 2-run double. It was his first double of the season and put the Seahawks ahead 2-1. Okay. A little bit of trouble. Jordan's game, said Seattle manager John Pride. Yeah, look at these guys. Glad he's on our side. The loss has the Eagles 5-3. So that's the final. Player of the game was Jordan Glenn, the Seattle starter. I didn't do that, did I? Well, he got the win, but I didn't go for player of the game. Okay. So the next featured game, these are just precursors to the first official game. We're going to have the Commanders, who are 6-1 and 3-1 at home, face the Arizona Cardinals. This is the Sim Baseball Vision.